Waiting for some indication that we are live.
We are live.
All right. There we go. As every TRF stream starts with someone typing. Hello and welcome to the Redacted Files podcast. We are playing Wrath and Glory, Warhammer 40,000. This is Acer, and around the table we have Rob.
Hello, I'm Rob. I'm playing Domitia Hastafragus, Rogue Sister Hospitaller.
John.
Hi, I'm John, and I'm playing Zeratos Artanis, the Eldar.
Mike.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mike, and I'm playing Sven T. Septimus, the Rogue Trader.
And Megan.
Hey everyone, this is Megan. I'm playing Hestia, the Heretic. Whatever, they're both true.
The Heretic.
Yep.
All right. So last time in your adventures in the Imperium Nihilus, you dropped out of the warp. Everything was back to normal, perfectly fine. And you encountered a patrol of mixed planetary defense force and pirate ships. They seemed overjoyed to see you and reported that the system had been besieged by orcs and something else that was killing people. Or presumably killing people since they were disappearing and nobody could find them. And you soon figured out why that was, as you were yourself were boarded by Eldari Corsairs, who seemed to have some sort of stealth ship.
Mm-hmm.
You sorted that all out, though. And
and the stealth ship is now welded to the hull of my ship.
Yeah, because that's how you get stuff done in Warhammer.
Yep,
Spot
that's
welding.
how science works.
It's there's no such word. What is this? You made some new friends. They said they would be back, and then disappeared.
And I have a bucket load of Eldar weaponry under my bed.
Yeah. So everyone came out of that feeling pretty good about themselves. And isn't that what's important, really? No?
I mean, for some definitions of important.
Yeah, well, the Imperium doesn't think so. So, with that in mind, you have been urged to make all haste for the primary inhabited world in the solar system. Though, of course, Sven apparently has some sort of fated duel with a commissar in his future. That was Zeratos' contribution to the conclusion of the episode, I believe.
Mm-hmm. With the fate spinning and all that. Or fate weaving?
What's that?
No such thing. I just told you about it. It was always going to happen.
All right. So, as I believe we covered, the Sidira system has one primary world. It is largely self-sustaining and is most valuable as a waypoint for the beginning of this trade route that will hopefully be reopened thanks to the actions of Rogue Trader Septimus. So, Sven, your ship is descending in the gravity well toward the primary world. What are you doing to prepare your ship, your crew, and your warband?
I am going to remind everyone that like for the ship side of things, everyone here on this world that we're going to has been cut off from the Imperium for throne knows how many years, because they were having issues before the whole rift issue. So we don't know how far from the Emperor's light they've fallen. So be on your toes, be polite. If you see any overt heresy, make note of it, but don't immediately start with the Purgeon, because we don't want to bring the entire damn sector down on us. We're supposed to be helping bring these folk back to the Emperor's light, and not via the Emperor's mercy. Which, for the people that may not know, Emperor's mercy is slang for execution. So I'm not sure if I need to roll leadership for that, or what.
It depends on how big of a landing party you're taking.
Well, we're coming in as, like, we've been invited in as saviors, right?
Yeah.
So, fuck, it's gonna be a parade, right?
All
Gotta
right.
have people for a parade.
So you're going to bring down a few companies of the Imperial Guard, or are you?
The biggest landing party. Ain't no party like a landing party.
I'd liaise with the Imperial Navy and say, whichever company has done best in the company roles, they can join us. The rest can be reserved in drop ships if things go plane-shaped.
Okay. So why don't you give me that leadership role then?
Okay.
And the difficulty is going to be just a standard difficulty.
Is what difficulty?
It's standard, just 3.
Okay. Well, sir, that is a 4. 4 successes. One of which is a 6. So not enough of a standard of goodness to actually make that 6 count for anything special.
Okay, so there isn't sufficient margin for a shift. So what happens is you will get the company you have requested. As it happens, that is not the very best company in the regiment. It happens to be the best company, in the last couple of weeks. The other company trained a little too hard and has a lot of troopers down, although they would have made maybe a better impression because they look badass. These guys, it's one of those things where you can place second in every race and win the championship.
Well, but they're still hard AF. We're not talking about 10-ply people or anything. These guys, if these guys aren't 1-ply, they're 2-ply at most.
These guys will impress. They will come in with you on their Valkyries.
Nice.
I assume you have a very impressive shuttle of your own.
Oh yeah, it's it's a standard shuttle that has been up armored a bit to more closely. It's less of a shuttle now and more of an armored brick, or armored brick, space van. It's hard to tell all of these things immediately. It looks like it would not be out of place in a Space Wolf army because it's light blue, it's very square and blocky, and there's a wicked wolf airbrushed on the side of it.
All right.
It's a Winnebago with wings.
Does a wolf have like a wizard hat?
The wolf has a wizard hat and robe, and it is howling at 3 moons.
Yes.
Hestia size.
Okay. There aren't nearly enough organic components on this flying machine for Hestia's taste. Okay, so your shuttle descends through the atmosphere. It is a bit strange to Hestia. This world has air that you can't see.
Hmm.
That's downright unnatural.
You can't see it or taste it. That's weird.
Are you sure about this?
So the world has a limited industry, a fair amount of agriculture. They do have a sizable spaceport, although it has fallen into something less than optimal repair. They do have a number of patrol ships and intersystem freighters, but it's not a bustling port by any means.
Hmm.
So give me another leadership role there, Sven.
Okay. I almost picked up the right number of dice. Whoo! Well, that actually was less impressive than it looked. 4 successes because I got 2 6s and a lot of 3s.
Okay, so you experience a thrill as your shuttle grounds, and the Imperial Guard are making an impression. They have their drop ships approach in echelon, and as each one flies over the landing pad, they suddenly flare and drop 100 meters, and the squads aboard rappel down.
Ah, right, because these are the Elysian drop troops.
Yes, and as the Valkyries as the troops are just hitting the ground, the Valkyries climb back up, and the next assault element drops into place. It is a textbook deployment. One the Elysians would consider lacking in flair, although several people probably had heart attacks on the ground.
Both from the shock and the
Awe.
shock wave.
Yes.
Both from the shock and the awe.
So there is now a full company of Elysian drop troops watching your flanks, including several of their drop sentinels.
Excellent. I start striding out from our shuttle and wave to the rest of the war band like, oh, form up. Let's give the people a show. Oh yeah, and Hestia, maybe liaise with the, if possible, help out the Imperial Navy engine seers and tech priests for getting this place a bit more functional, I guess. You tech priests are good at that sort of thing, right?
Yes, we can bring this fully up to the best of all capabilities.
Excellent. I'm hoping that it's just that they didn't have the know-how of how to maintain it properly or using the resources improperly, and not that they were just extremely, exceedingly bad at it. Like, maybe all of their tech priests died on this world. Who knows? I guess we're going to find out pretty soon.
Okay, everybody, roll awareness.
Oh.
I'm gonna use these actual official dice for this for the first time.
Wow.
Ooh.
They don't give you enough, though.
Yeah, they only gave me 5 dice. And they're way smaller than normal dice.
Okay. That is 6 successes. 2 of or and with 2 6s showing.
I only got 2 successes.
Oh, and I also got a 6 on the is it the glory die or the wrath die?
It is the Wrath die.
The wrath die.
Get a glory point.
Mm.
All right. What about Dom and Zeratos?
Demeti has 10 successes.
Wow.
I only missed on 2 die.
It's one alert lady
I have 8.
and one alert warlock. Okay, so everybody notices that the your welcoming committee consists of what looks like a mech infantry company. They have mostly Chimera analogs with a couple of scout walkers.
Mm. So light armor personnel carriers kind of thing.
Yeah. But when the warband, they are duly impressed by the Elysians. But when the warband disembarks, they do notice that you have members of your party that do not look like they are wearing garb that is appropriate for members of the Imperium.
Can we get off in slow motion?
Well, so should we describe how our characters are dressed again?
Yes, let's do that.
Because so Sven is in his light power armor with a great cloak or a great coat over his power armor. So he's wearing he basically looks like a robot, kind of like a robot man right now, because he has a great coat open with a magnificent tricorn hat on, perched on his power armor helmet. And he's got Stormbolter at one side, Power Sword at the other, and he's basically striding forward like he owns the place.
I love the whole concept of clothes over fully sealed space-worthy armor. It is so ridiculous. It's amazing.
You can't be a rogue trader if you don't have the hat and the coat.
Welcome to Warhammer. All right. What is Dom wearing?
Demeti has actually shed her she usually has a sort of cloak over her power armor as well, because that makes sense. But she's dropped that and it's just out in her Sister of Battle armor, all polished and nice, knowing they had to make a good impression here. So she is looking as Imperium as possible.
And what about Hestia?
Hestia actually looks like a normal tech priest. She has her mechadendrite arm on her back. She has a reticulal eye. She does not carry the more traditional Omnissiah axe, though. She has a chain axe and a galvanic rifle slung over her back. But she's wearing the red robe. She looks very much like a tech priest.
Okay. And what about Zeratos?
Oh, Zeratos had already donned his clothing with his head wrap, because he already put together what he would look like here. So he's basically got military pants that he got, boots, his head completely wrapped up, and he's been annoying people with his Tularan trivia. I hope to see it as he's pretending like he is from Tularan.
Okay, you guys still do not look like what they were expecting.
Oh yeah, not at all.
They were expecting like the people that come out of that shuttle to be like the command group for this regiment, and instead, they get you guys.
I will establish for the record that I've left my new toy on the ship, as it is only marginally better than my last pistol.
And we are being escorted by one of my ship's personal guard, though, right, Acer?
Yeah.
So it's just that it's not Imperial Guard, like, emblazoned carapace armor or anything like that. It's more ship practical, fashion impractical.
Yeah. Stop where you are.
I'm going to say that my power armor has external eyebrows, so I can quirk an eyebrow quizzically. Who is addressing?
It's someone in one of the vehicles ahead of you. They opened up the commander's hatch on one of the APCs. Zeratos. You recognize this gentleman. He has a chain sword.
Okay.
And he is dismounting from this vehicle.
How do I know this gentleman?
From the vision?
Oh. I don't say anything.
Would I recognize this gentleman as a commissar?
Yes. Identify yourself.
I unfurl the letter of marque bequeathed upon me by the Inquisition. I am Svengerars Thomas Septimus the 27th of the Alcta Canis dynasty. Rogue trader. We are here to help bring this world back to the Emperor's light. As requested by Lord Baronius. That was the one that had requested us, right?
Yes.
And who might you be, Commissar?
I am Commissar Regulus Stone. These are stalwart members of the 27th Penal Legion. We have stood our posts, and we will not allow you, whoever these people are, into the city.
Dear sir, do you not recognize, first off, A, the Elysium drop troops, and secondly, a member of the Imperial nobility? Sorry. I have been tasked with this duty by the Lords of Terra themselves. Why are you trying to stop this world from being brought back to the Emperor's light?
We have faced many charlatans over the years. We will not be taken in again.
he just kind of palms his head into his hand a bit and goes, "Look, you colossal pile of codswallop. You have an orc problem. We have a bloody great ship and the Imperial Navy and members of the Imperial Guard. We are trying to help you, you benighted fool of a man." I'm trying very hard not to swear.
Why?
As Jack in the chat says, "Can't you see the size of my hat?"
I say that you have come for our souls, and we will not have it.
Indeed, we've come to save your souls. Now stand down and move out of the way.
Why would we want your feet? Like your shoes? What? That doesn't even make sense.
Okay, now he thinks you're crazy, and he is going to attack you.
Damentia, like, does that make sense? And he is he attacking melee or ranged?
Melee. As I believe he is closed into shouting match range.
Okay.
But because you are the player characters, you get to go first.
Okay. I am going to. Oh, I'm so used to having a character that actually has an intimidation score. I don't have one on this guy yet. I'm going to, I guess, roll leadership to call out. Well, would it be leadership or would it be scholar to know, like, this is a duel, or to try to force this into being a duel so none of his penal colony cronies will be able to help?
That would be leadership.
Okay. I will roll and let us see. Counting dice is the fun part of this game. That is 5 successes. One of the dice is a 6.
All right, they will not interfere.
And I'm going to stride up to this commissar, go into a guard position, and say, right, is this to first blood, to the death, or to the pain?
To the death.
Okay, don't hold it against me when I leave you alive. And I will attack with weapon skill.
All right.
Which, unfortunately for me, is not my best attack, but it's the one that's thematically correct. Ooh, the dice agree with me, though. That is a 6 on the wrath die, and I have 6 successes.
All right, that's a. Do you have any other 6s?
I have 2 6s total.
Okay, so one of those can be shifted.
Okay, I'll shift into damage.
Okay.
Because in combat, they can't really be shifted to other things, right? They can't be shifted to demoralize or anything like that?
Not for singletons, I don't think. But what you could just take it as a glory point also, but you probably want to just do damage.
Yeah, I'll do it as damage. Okay. Double checking the stats for my power sword.
Oh no, excuse me. You just do get the glory point. You don't have. I'm too used to running a cipher.
Immediate is taking this moment to get her bag of medical supplies ready, assuming someone's going to need it after this.
Double checking something. Why do they have this so weirdly done? Okay, I'm just gonna trust the stats on my character sheet because I wrote it down for a reason. Okay, and that is 3 extra damage. So that's 13 armor piercing 3.
Armor piercing 3. Okay, so that neutralizes 3 of that. 1, 8. It's a fair bit of damage. He is going to try to soak.
In response, he cries.
Ow! Using your power sword, right?
Yep.
Ooh, 1 success, 3 success, 4 success. Okay, he soaks 4. Yeah, that's he raises his arm and takes that blow on the pommel of his chainsword, and now he is going to try to sword you.
Okay.
Damn, that's a lot of 3s. 1 success. Whole lot of 3s. And I gotta roll twice more. What's your defense?
My defense is my defense is 2.
All right.
I'm trying to find the stats for parry because that's one of the things that power swords are good at, if I remember right.
Okay. He does not connect.
Ah. Okay, so it's a moot point anyway.
Your turn.
Okay, I'm going to flex my arms a bit, and I'm going to. You know what? No, I'm not going to try to talk this idiot down. It's a commissar. He's probably doing this more out of his own sense of entitlement than anything, so I'm just going to keep on attacking.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. That is 7 successes with 2 6s on the dice.
All right. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay, any of those able to be shifted?
Yes, both of them.
Okay. So that's 3 extra damage dice. That is 12 damage.
Okay. It's really funny that you like. I have to actually work out the math. I'm sorry. Did you say 12 damage?
Yep.
Okay.
AP minus 3.
Okay. So still took a little. can't hit for shit, but he can take a hit. I guess, it's better than nothing. Maybe. But yeah, he's really pissed off, and he would like to stab you now, or rather, rend your flesh.
Hmm.
It is now relevant to mention that I looked up parry as a weapon trait. It gives you a +1 to your defense against melee.
Oh, so my defense is 3. Good to know.
Unfortunately, I did just roll 6s, excuse me, 6 successes, and 2 of them were 6s. So I'm gonna shift that to damage. And you take 10 damage.
Okay. Is there any AP to that?
Um,
Let's see. Chain weapons. Chain sword, AP 0.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to roll to soak 1 because I have light power armor on, so the majority of that just gets whisked away. And yeah, I soak.
Okay.
So 1 point of shock. So I basically his chain sword skips off of my power sword and clunks against my head a bit, and I go, "Ow, dick!" And then I go to chop him up some more. I mean, have you had quite enough of this? I mean, I'm wearing power armor, and I'm using a power sword. Come on, man. Ooh. Well, glad that wasn't that glitches aren't really a thing in this, I don't think. So 4 successes, one of which is a 6, and the rest of the dice are 1s.
Wow. Okay.
So do I connect with the 4 successes?
Yes.
Okay. Since I didn't get any extra damage dice, in addition, I just have the 1, so that is 11 damage. I hope I am doing this right, because I got the 5+5 somewhere for this power sword.
Wait, say that again? Sorry.
I'm hoping that I am getting the damage right for how the damage is working with this on a whole.
I hope I'm doing it right too.
We're learning together.
Strength
And
plus-
to clarify, the wrath die was not a 1, the wrath die was a 5. I mentioned because it came up in chat. So yeah, 11 damage.
I'd had the same thought. I just didn't want to mention it. I'm like, no, it's error in our favor. Don't say anything.
All right. So, shoot.
Yeah, it should be 5 plus your strength plus 1 ED.
Oh, that's where it's coming from, my strength. Okay, that's why it's 5 plus 5. Gotcha.
Okay.
So I am doing it right. Thank you, John.
Sorry, it's like you were talking about it, and I was like completely ignoring it. Then I was like, he mentioned this 3 times. Maybe I should actually listen to what he's talking about. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago that I put the stats in for my weapons. So it's like, why did I specifically do 5 plus 5?
Okay, what was your total? Sorry.
11 damage.
Okay. He crumbles. He traded blows with you a couple of times, and then you turn, but then he's unable to turn your blade away, and you sort of just plunge your blade down. How do you finish this guy?
I want him to be. I guess I wasn't trying to not kill him, all things considered.
Uh-huh.
But I think, Acer, you would find it probably more thematically better to have a person that hates me around, right?
Sure.
So I'll leave it up to you for whether or not he lives or dies, or if medics will be able to help him. But I'm bringing down my power sword on his chain sword, and then pop it back in just the right way to cause a kickback on the teeth of the chain sword, and then just slice through his arm and into his body.
All right.
So hand severed, full on Vader hand severed, but the rest of the blade just kept on going into his chest.
All right. That's gonna take some work. But there's a great deal of mechanical grinding sounds, squelching, a blood curdling scream, of course. Blood and viscera flow everywhere, far more than you would expect one human body to hold, and he collapses to the ground. And you stand triumphant. I will give you a wrath point.
Demedia will step forward as the guy falls and kneel down next to him, holding her doctor's bag. And it looks like she's about to check him for if there's anything that could be done to save him, but she just says, "Your sacrifice will herald us on towards our great success." And she gets up and walks away, walks back to her place. She's like, "Yeah, helping this guy."
Oh, good. 'Cause I was about to compel you not to help.
Nope. This is.
And the media gets a wrath point.
We could just get you some replacement parts.
I
get it as a wrath point because that was my objective for the session.
I am going to stride forward to address the Penal Legion.
All right.
And are there any? Is there anyone other than the commissar that's in charge?
You can tell that one of the tracks that he was not in looks like it has more Vox antennae on top of it. You would think that's probably the command track.
Okay, I am going to.
You notice that, while the fight was going on, several vehicles had popped their hatches, but as soon as their guy dropped, they all closed them back up again.
Yeah, because they had to watch. I'm going to Vox into the Elysian drop troops and come in and hello, chaps. Would we be able to get a spare friendly commissar over to this area and a liaison for, I guess, taking ownership of a penal colony? I'm not sure if the Elysian drop troops handle the penal colonies or anything like that, but at the very least, your commissar should have ideas of the paperwork for the temporary chain of command being reallocated, right?
One moment, sir. And then from behind you, there comes the sound of a man striding up, and he has a chainsword in one hand, and is sort of gesturing forward with his other, as several heavy missile teams move into position and point all of their crack missile launchers at the one command track, and he takes out his the Vox handset from the operator standing next to him, and he says, "I'm taking command of this company." And he strides up and walks up to the command vehicle, opens the hatch, reaches down with his one hand, grabs the commander out of the hatch, and just throws him on the ground.
Well, I think he's been demoted. That person's been demoted, and he's been promoted.
So, Captain, where would you like your mechanized troops to bivouac for the night?
Well, I kind of look around. This really does seem to be the only welcoming party that is in the area. Well, they know the area better than us, so they can bivvy here while we check other things. They can hold the Star Fort for in case any other of these perceived boggans and gribblies start attacking.
Yes, sir. I'll be sure that several squads of our troops remain to make sure they are reminded of their duty to the Emperor.
Very good. Hopefully they will come to see that now that they're back in the Emperor's light, that things will hopefully go better for them than they were before. But they shouldn't get any bad ideas.
Yes, sir. You'll probably want to interrogate this one.
Yes. Now he's not the commander anymore, so let's I'll call you Ensign Ricky for now.
Guess who's just been assigned to cleaning out the shitters on a rogue trader ship?
That's the mistake Phasma did made. I don't know if you should do that.
But yes, let's have a chat with the former commander to see what information we can get about the situation on the ground.
All right. Give me a. Would you like to try intimidation?
I mean, sure. Let's give that a
Or
leadership would be better, or persuasion.
Persuasion would probably work. You're in a very persuasive position right now.
Is he capable of standing up?
One of his legs is broken.
We could get him a new leg.
That a no?
From the fall from the
Yes.
from Chimera.
So that was a no then?
No, he cannot walk on his own. Well, I mean, like, if he was properly motivated, he'd probably try, but...
I'm going to help him stand up.
Would Sister Dom, would you be able to assist him with setting the leg in a splint? He is after all a member of the Imperial Guard, even if under duress, and we should treat him with all of the pleasantries according of such. Assuming that's all right with you, Commander, and I turn to the Elysian Drop Troop Commander.
Do with him as you will.
Very good. And hopefully that will help my persuasion even more to show that, hey, I can have both carrot and stick. The other guy got the stick.
Actually got the sword.
Yep. So, let's see.
Yeah, what are you getting on your Medicaid roll there, Rob?
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. That is only a 5. Only 5 successes on Medicaid.
All right, well,
But
you know.
Dom also isn't like being particularly gentle about this. The suffering will strengthen you for the trials to come.
It builds character.
Well, the bedside manner leaves something to be desired, but the morpha is to die for.
Oh, no drugs provided.
All right, so
This is one of the reasons that Dom got out of, or didn't want to go back to the sisters, is they've almost fetishized suffering. Like, it's...
I mean,
suffering seen as a good thing. She's like, maybe this isn't the best method.
I mean, depending on what penal legion they're from, I mean, he could have done a BYOM, brought his own Morpha.
he definitely did. All right, so
it seems to be some downtime, and we're standing around.
Yeah,
and it's been like almost an entire hour.
Oh God, no!
Powers.
Oh boy!
I'm gonna go ahead and like cast Forewarning.
All right, go ahead, go for it.
Well, this explains the dice results that I got, because I got a 9 on my persuasion, but I also got a 1 on the wrath die.
Oh, I succeeded.
All right.
No perils. All right, so once activated, Forewarning grants the Psyker the option to seize the initiative. So I get to seize the initiative at some point in the next combat.
Okay.
But nothing cool. Nothing exciting happens since I've succeeded.
Aww. All right. Ensign Ricky will blather on. He'll tell you whatever you want to know. He was ordered to come out here and confront you to see whether you were in fact Imperial Guard. This contingent, what remains of a penal legion is all that remains of the actual Imperial presence here on the planet. Their regimental commander was rather enthusiastic in his attempts to purge the system of pirates and smugglers, and they were slowly whittled down over the years. There are a couple of diehards left. Considering what just happened here, one less.
Well, he certainly died hard.
But the problem is that the There are a couple of factions on the planet. One of them is the one that you encountered out in deep space. Those that are making accommodation with the pirates in an attempt to defend against the orcs and whatever else is out there. There are the diehards of the Penal Legion who have consolidated control of some fortifications near the capital. And then there are some people who are kind of just caught in the middle. Noticeably, though, the people who are sort of willing to compromise with the pirates did not warn you that there was a rogue Penal Legion wandering around. So, nobody's really your friend here, it turns out.
Yeah. It's more the enemy of my enemy is someone that I don't have to deal with right now.
Yeah. Someone else's problem at the moment.
Well, and Sven kind of addresses the warband. Well, it seems we are in a interesting position here where we can liberate this world from both the traitor guard, as it seems that these people were, not necessarily heretics, just people that were herring off on their own rather than embracing the Emperor's return. Or we can focus on getting them to our side and trying to wipe the orcs out of this area. Because first and foremost, the orcs are the biggest problem that we have. We just haven't run into them yet. And we should count ourselves lucky for that. So, and he cracks open an alcan of what the hell would beer be called in 40K? Amasak is whiskey, so owl malt, barley pop, whatever.
Barley pop.
Yes.
I
Barley
believe
pop
that's
is
correct.
appropriate.
He cracks open some beers and drinks them right through the power armor helmet and says, "So what do you guys want to do?"
Oh,
So, which group of traders do you want to ally with? Do you want to fight them both? You do have an actual, elite Imperial Guard regiment with you. You can bombard them from orbit.
But that would leave the surrounding area not as functional as we'd want, because, I mean, this is an agri world. We want that ag.
Yeah, that is true.
That sweet, sweet ag.
well, I assume that we're here to slaughter your enemies.
Fat stacks of cheddar. No, not money, literal cheddar.
We really, really need that cheese.
Like, I assume we're here to slaughter your enemies.
Well, so
I suppose the question is, which of these groups do we want to consider our friends and not to be slaughtered then?
yes, and we've come to terms with at least one faction of the pirates. They've, that being said, they are pirates, so we have no idea. And not just pirates, Eldari pirates, which means they may back me up here with the Ceratos. It's entirely possible that they will go off and do something that would be detrimental to us because it would be better for the grand scheme of things, but it would hose us immediately, correct?
I mean, only if it would benefit them. It's not really so much about hosing you as benefiting them.
Yeah, but even though we have a tentative truce currently, I wouldn't be surprised and I wouldn't begrudge them completely if they went and got their own. That said, one thing I do know is that if there's a penal legion out there that is rebelling against the Imperium, essentially, that I do know how to handle.
Oh, incidentally, you just said that you had an arrangement with Eldari pirates in front of that guy who's still there. You might want to do something about that. What that is, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's just Ensign Reiki though, right?
Yeah.
No, he's not gonna really make it out of here, right?
Uh,
He could be a servitor.
Servitor Reiki.
Wait, no. I can compel him to forget what he just heard.
No, I feel like it'd be easier if we just made him into a servitor.
I'm just going to go ahead and do it.
No.
I'm sorry. I made it seem like it was a question. Sorry.
All right. Okay.
That was my mistake for making it seem like.
Let's generate perils of the warp. Let's see.
I mean, technically, we're in the second hour now because we're at 1 hour 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's time for the second.
That's
step.
a good point. I'm glad you made it for me. All right, so I rolled the 8 and the DN is 5, so that means I beat it by 3. And so for every one I beat it by, the DN that he has to roll the beat goes up by 1, so it's going up by 3. So he has to make a DN7 willpower test, or he just forget what was just said.
Nope.
So
That didn't happen.
see, forgot what he just said. Ooh, so much easier this
people?
way.
Are you? Who are you people?
It's all right, Ricky. We're with the Emperor,
Oh, I like the Emperor.
and that's why we like you, Ricky. And I clap him on the back.
I still feel like he'd be a great servitor.
I'm certain he would be.
One day, Hestia. One day.
Fine. Fine.
So, Reginald, what can you tell me about the status of the Penal Legion right now?
Well, there's only about 1,000 left, but we have all of the heavy artillery and some armor, and the administratum people are just terrified of us. So they've hired on some of the pirates, and they've fortified their part of the city. And well, we don't. They leave us alone, and we leave them alone most of the time. But sometimes someone lands on the planet, and well, whoever gets there first gets to keep whatever they find.
So the Administratum have the artillery? Did I remember that right?
No, the military.
The military has the. The Administratum have the pirates.
Yeah, so the administratum can drop rocks on the Penal Legion, but the Penal Legion have like heavy artillery and are dug in. So it's sort of a stalemate.
Okay, well, I'm kind of a fan of getting the Penal Legion under heel completely and then dealing with the Administratum. Because if we can basically help ourselves to the Duggan position, we can basically wrap up the Administratum, especially if we have some sort of way of like futzing with the artillery to act as anti-satellite bombardment weapons. And by satellite bombardment, I mean satellite as in rocks from space.
You
What
could
are you gonna
also. Oh, sorry. Give me a scholar rolls.
Ooh, Scholar is a thing I'm not bad at.
I will roll that as well.
Color is something I'm surprisingly okay at. Because I have 6 in that. Like, total.
Terrible at it, so I'm gonna roll anyway. I got 4.
I got 6 with 2 6s. One of the 6s is the Wrath die.
Oh, I got 5. Two of the successes was a 6.
Only 3. No 6s at all. Just a crapload of 2s. All of the 2s.
I got a bunch of 3s earlier. It was very disappointing.
I've gotten nothing but 2 on my Wrath die this whole time.
All right. Zeratos, you think that the ships in orbit probably can nullify the threat from the pirates, at least for a while, if you were to go that route. Sven, you're pretty sure that the capabilities of the Penal Legion to encrypt their communications are far outmatched by your ability to spoof their communications.
So we can have multiple false plans going out to confuse the pirates and the Administratum also.
Yes.
I like it.
Also, you do have this patrol of armored vehicles that belongs to the Penal Legion that as yet has not reported itself as having been engaged by the enemy because they have been completely caught off guard. I mean, it's not too surprising. It was a Penal Legion.
Every time you say it, it's like I'm trying not to laugh.
It's
You
what
missed
they're
me
called.
tittering earlier.
It is what they're called.
I know, but sorry. Keep going. Ignore me.
At least I'm not slurring my words and saying Penal Legion.
Oh, oof.
I don't have to medicate for that.
So
It's a good thing we didn't start shooting them and set them on fire, because if your penal lesion burns for more than 3 hours, see a doctor.
All right. So this campaign can never be a podcast. So there's that.
It's on the internet already.
All right, it's
Yep.
too late. It's
No takesy backsies.
All right. Is anyone actually watching this? I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, yes.
We have a whole peanut gallery.
Oh no.
Jack and Tom are enjoying themselves.
Well, that's all that really matters. Hi, Jack.
Say hi to Tom too.
Hi, Tom. Well, I assume that Tom is classier than Jack about laughing about penal legions. How wrong am I?
Not terribly.
Sorry, Jack.
I mean, Tom had just said we went way dirtier than he did.
And funnier, which is the important part.
Yep, and funnier. Okay.
All right. So, which terrible plan are you guys going to go with? All of them?
Yes.
I ultimately want to do all of them, right? That's
Yeah, we want to 100% clear this biatch. So, but should we go after the Penal Legion first, because they may not be expecting us to we can basically roll up on them and spoof communications.
yeah. We still
say
go in
that
surprise
we're-
on that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, if only there was someone who was good at tech.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh, look, Hestia.
Oh, I've got a rank in that. I can.
No.
I mean, I get to roll 5 dice for tech.
I want to roll all my dice.
But it's not like
All
you have,
right,
like,
all right.
cards
You have a
and
couple of dice you can roll for this. Issue.
And I will be right back. I'm gonna hit the water closet, as it's called.
Is it like 1893 over there?
Canada is very fancy when it's 40K.
I learned recently that in England they don't have Cool Ranch Doritos.
Cool American.
That's right. They're called Cool American. And all I can think of is they've got like James Dean wearing sunglasses on the bag.
like, why do I, like, in my mind, I was like, do they taste like menthols?
Tastes like cannibalism.
And then I realized that this is because they apparently don't have ranch dressing. Like, this is the only explanation for this, and that's unfathomable.
All right, Megan, that means you have to drag out that Washington Post food blog about the guy who was very angry about ranch dressing.
I don't want to find it. He's wrong.
I'm vamping is what's happening here. There was rolling and counting. Give me time to math.
I got 11 successes. I got 4 sixes.
Okay. Okay, Hestia. You with 4 sixes and 11 successes. You can tell the Penal Legion what to do, and they will do it.
Oh no.
You replace their operating system with Tinder.
Ooh. Swipe left for the Emperor. Swipe right for heresy.
I swipe right on Slanesh.
Fair.
I don't even know if swiping right or swiping left is acknowledging.
I don't know.
I'm old.
We're just gonna guess. It's all right.
Doesn't matter which way you swipe. That's just already too late.
I was just real excited when my 13th age character had Tinder.
Or the Stone Age equivalent, Flint.
That's right.
All right, Hestia, what are you going to tell them?
Well, I feel like we should mobilize them into army.
All right, so you're going to give a general mobilization to the entire legion.
Mm-hmm.
And where are you going to tell them to go?
I'm not sure. I'm not the strategist.
You should tell them that they need to set up a divide in half and set up a pincer attack, and then we kill half of them. and then kill the other half.
Well, I just feel like they could be servitors.
But if we kill half of them and then kill the other half, you can have all the same
If we get them
Wait,
really confused, we get them to attack each other.
We don't. Aren't we trying to capture them for our own dudes and not kill them?
I don't think
Oh.
anyone ever told Hestia that.
I didn't get that memo. Sorry.
I mean, 6 in one, half dozen in the other.
The great part is that Sven is potentially the only like pro Imperium person on the squad. Dom is like, he's pretty good.
Like, we can
But,
tell them to split into a group of 3 for a 3-point pincer attack and kill 2 of the groups and keep 1 for Sven.
All right, Sven. Well, your Hera tech has been buzzing for a while.
Bzzz.
So, Hestia, what are you going to do? Are you going to tell them about your supreme success, or are you just going to do what you want? What is it that you want?
Yeah, because I don't speak binary can't yet. So
I've been dialing
I
up for
don't know.
hours. Well, no, I'm gonna tell them about my success because I don't. These guys, the Penal Legions, are not Xenos, so I don't really care about them or keeping them.
So Hestia's dream is being able to have a squadron of like Tau servitors
Oh
or
my
Eldar
God.
servitors.
Yes. Well, maybe not Eldar, but definitely Tau.
We could send them out on maneuvers, just to go out into a field and march around for a while, so that way we can seize.
I want them
the
to scour the planet for Xenos technology.
All right. So,
Not the side of the planet we're currently on, though.
Okay. So they are going to fan out and go looking for Xenos technology.
I think we don't have to worry about them as much. They're very busy.
I'm trying to remember that Eldar craft world that has all of the. I can't even remember the unit name. The Eldar mecha that are basically piloted by ghosts.
I want Eldar craft beer. That's the first thing that came to my brain. I was like, I really want a beer right now.
Yeah, every time I think Craft World, I just think about an amusement park I don't want to go to.
Hey, I love crafts.
Or
Everything's
craft
glitter.
works.
No, yeah, I just imagine it's all craft beer, and I just do not want to go there.
Oh, okay.
It could be German techno music from the 80s. It could be all Kraftwerk themed.
I thought it'd just be like glitter and knitting. That was my first thought. Craft world.
Yeah, I want to go there.
All these places I don't want to go to.
They're all the same place.
Oh, now I do want to go there. Get a knitted sweater and overpriced beer and glitter and German techno. I mean, I'm down for this.
Okay, so the
Wraithguard, that's the name. Sorry.
Nailed it.
there is now a Penal Legion that is looking for alien technology for Hestia. The defensive positions that they once occupied, including the planetary garrison, are now almost completely unguarded.
Oh, that means that we can just roll in and take it. Yes.
You can accomplish that with a leadership role. Sven.
Oh, I could totally do this. I'm great at leadership.
Yeah,
Definitely have Hestia do it.
it's Sven's turn for a really good roll, though.
I have 3 dice.
I have 7.
Your difficulty's a 4.
Well, the lowest die that I rolled out of those 7 was a 4, and there's a few 6s in here, so I think I got it.
All right.
A
Let's
million
see,
successes.
I have 2 6s, so that is 9 total.
Okay, so you are able to coordinate what in Imperial Guard is almost an inconceivable and is even allowed in the manual bloodless capture of the enemy position. It looks like the only people protecting the planetary garrison were the administrative staff and the headquarters section.
Ah, yes. So, in other words, we've been able to execute, rather than plan, I'm in your base killing your dudes, to all your base are belong to us. Hey, I got to thinking about craft work, which meant I had to start thinking about other things that I was really into in 99.
So there are several batteries of fixed artillery that are yours for the taking. The Legion drop troops don't have any in their inventory, but they can figure out how to work them.
Nice. Aim away from face.
We may want to direct those towards the eventually returning army. Not necessarily to explode them all, but the threat of exploding them all may help negotiations.
Yeah, send a message. Or, Hestia, you're tied in with comms and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been any chatter about the whereabouts of the orcs in the area or anything like that?
Do I need to make a roll for that?
Yes, you do.
Is that tech again?
Yes. Your difficulty will be 5.
Ooh. Buckets of dice. Buckets of dice.
Wow. I did not roll very well, but I did get exactly 5 successes, and I did get a 6 on my wrath dice.
Nice.
That's another glory point. And the third company did find a lot of xenotech. Unfortunately, it was in the hands of a bunch of orcs.
Are they doing okay?
The technology is not doing okay.
No.
I assume you were asking about the technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, the technology is not doing okay. The third company is also not doing great, and neither are the orcs.
I mean,
Wait, the orcs aren't doing too great?
No, they are in contact. They are the third company is in heavy contact with an orc concentration. It looks like they were hiding in some woods, just out of easy detection range. And now that they've actually pushed their patrols out a little farther, the orcs are now rearing for a fight. And so the third company is quickly losing strength. They are requesting fire support.
there's something really important going on in this area. There's orcs there, and there's some.
As I get the coordinates, and I immediately call in heavy artillery bombardment.
Just maybe do it like light artillery bombardment. There's some tech there that I think is going to be very important.
I've fought orcs before. I don't think artillery bombardment's going to hurt their weapons too much.
No, not the orc's weapon. Or is that the only Xenos tech there?
That's the only Xenos tech you're sure
Oh,
about.
that's fine then. Well, no, it's probably fine. Maybe just
Okay.
a little bit. We can save a little bit of it.
Give me a ballistics roll, Hestia.
Ballistics. All right. I guess I don't get to roll all 15 dice for this, but
So sad.
I know.
As an aside, one of the reasons why I have a thing about not saying repeat in on conversations too often anymore is because I got told very strenuously that if you say repeat over an open comm line, the artillery people may hear it and go, okay, we're going to just repeat the bombardment to that same area where friendlies may be now.
I got 7 successes.
All right. You managed to dial in a textbook perfect creeping barrage and save what is left of the third company.
Hooray!
This
Is that the plan?
The third company is part of the Penal Legion, right? Not the Legion troops.
No. So that's that they are thoroughly on board with whoever it is to save their asses.
We're your captains now. Like they're like when they come back, they're going to see, oh, new management. Oh, they saved us.
Yes. So there is a lot of Vox traffic. The orcs were sort of surprised into launching an assault against the third company and some of the neighboring units in Hestia's tech scavenging sweep. And the full force of their attack was completely blunted, and their forces have been routed as they shout recriminations at one another in Cockney.
As is right and proper for 40k.
Yes. Several of them being shot in the back as they flee. But the Penal Legion is going to declare it a success and report that they have recovered several caches of Xenos artifacts, which they are very surprised about, and attribute to the brilliance of the new people in charge of the garrison.
Yes.
They had just assumed that like whoever had taken over most recently had died, whether of natural causes or whether they were helped along doesn't really matter. That's just something that happens around here. But whoever's in charge now seems to have their shit together. They found Xenos tech, and they prevented the orcs from making it all the way to the garrison and beat them far off in the hinterlands. So you have won yourselves the support of an entire 1,000 or so Imperial Guardsmen. They're not of like great quality, but they were one of the major powers left on this planet.
Hooray!
Hooray, we did it.
They're not great, but there's a lot of them, and that counts for something.
That's how the entire Imperial war machine works.
Yep.
Very true.
And in these trying days, every little bit counts.
So the Legion's vehicles are returning to the garrison. At their head is a Vanquisher. So they're called, right?
Ooh.
and they are reporting that they do have several uh, personnel carriers full of what look like what they think are Eldari weapons.
I'm going. So Sven's going to think back on what Lord Baronius had said specifically about the plans that the leeway that I would have, and how in these trying times what concessions we may need for some of the principles.
Uh-huh.
To which, if we have good God-fearing Imperials back under our wing, that, and if we are allowed to ally with Eldari for missions like this, as we clearly have, because Lord Baronius signed off on this party, basically. So if Zeratos is allowed to be in our warband, the Penal Legion can have some Hestia sanctified Eldar weapons.
Yes.
What could possibly go wrong with this?
The reasoning sounds sound enough.
If it takes us using Eldari weapons in Imperial hands to help maintain this world as an Imperial presence and to keep it stable to keep supply lines running back and forth across the rift. That's the concession I think we're going to have to need to make. Because that food that this planet can make is very important to the other side.
This might be a foolish question, but do we believe that the Eldari Corsairs have anything to do with these orcs being in possession of a cache of Eldari weapons?
I mean, odds were, I'd assume that they wouldn't have done it willingly. Like, orcs gonna loot. Zeratos, would, as far as you know, would Corsairs stoop to giving orcs shipments of weapons to buy them off? Wait, now that I've said it out loud, yeah, I think I know the answer.
Don't be insulting.
Well, if they're going to ravage one's enemies and then be ultimately destroyed in the end, it seems they would be a useful cat's paw.
I doubt if it.
Sven,
Yes.
the commander of that Vanquisher, who appears to be the senior surviving officer in the Legion, is prepared to report to you. If you will see him, he will be escorted in by Elysian troops.
Okay, I will see him.
He will snap a salute. Major Bracken, sir.
I will return the salute. Svengarar T. Septimus the 27th, rogue trader of the Alta Canis dynasty.
Oh, I beg your pardon, my lord.
Quite all right. So, it sounds as if you've had quite a rough time of it, keeping the Imperial presence active.
We've been doing our best. Our discipline has been wearing thin, and I have to admit, I don't think we have the best control over the population or the troops.
Yes. In these trying times, we need to be able to leverage the carrot more often than the stick, especially for when we're dealing with combat against such foes as the orcs.
Yes, sir. Well, I am afraid that there are other factors at play in this system. The those who were placed in charge, they, I think, have resorted to extreme measures to protect us from the orcs, or protect themselves, at least.
Yes, I'm hoping that we'll be able to unite the entire world back under the throne's grand presence once more, and resume shipments and tithes to Beyond the Rift to serve the Imperium once more.
Sven's really sounding like a sort of Christmas and Easter emperor worshiper.
Well, the it's the Agri world. Like, their sworn duty to the throne is to give food to the rest of the Imperium, right?
Yeah. No, I mean just like reaching for like imperial platitudes.
Oh, gotcha.
The sir, I think that is all well and good, but we must act swiftly. If they are convinced that you are in fact capable of bringing the world back into the Emperor's light, they may act drastically. I think those who hold sway over the capital.
Well, I suppose we better act quickly, mustn't we?
Yes, because I believe the people who hold sway over the capital have consorted with the ruinous powers.
A small slit in Sven's armor opens up to reveal his mouth, so he can spit without spitting in the inside of his helmet.
Yeah, spitting in the respirator, that was a mistake you only had to make once.
Yep.
I think he specifically made that mistake last session. If memory serves, that was a thing that happened.
Yeah.
Acer, I've brought you a present.
Yeah.
I took the liberty of rolling an investigate to check out these confiscated Xenos tech
Yes.
to see if there's any sign of how they were acquired.
Uh-huh.
I only rolled 2 successes on my investigate and a 1 on the wrath die.
All right.
This thermal detonator was active.
Okay, among the weapons that you find, there is a very nice looking blade of Eldari make. It's really, really nice. And you have to have it. Surely no one will mind if you just take this.
Well, I definitely pick it up. I will ask Zeratos about it.
Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe,
All right.
maybe just, hang on to it.
Oh, good.
It's a lovely souvenir. I'm sure no one will mind.
No one will mind. No one at all. It's fine. It's fine. Just keep it someplace where nobody will see it.
She looks around at her armor, which is not really very concealing for. She's not wearing the robe right now, so it's like
Just put it in your Medicaid. In your Medicaid kit.
Well, actually, no. She has the tabard still, so she can hide under the tabard.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything is fine. You
Every-
feel
every-
better. You feel better having it near you.
Spoils of war and all that. It's
A very fancy scalpel.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just giving Acer ideas for what will be compelled to do with this now.
Yeah. All right. So the sun sets on a world much changed in the course of but a day. What are the members of the war band doing around the garrison as you prepare to confront whatever has become of the members of the administratum that remain? Let's start with Domitia.
Domitia would likely be probably helping see to the wounded from the recent combats to get them in fighting shape to put them back on the field again.
All right, give me a Medicaid roll.
All right. Well, I just threw my wrath die on the floor, so I'll get a new one. Jeez, that roll was all over the place. But that is 7 successes, including a 6 on the wrath die.
All right.
Nice.
So yeah, you're doing great. It must be that new knife you've got.
It is. It is a surely has brought me luck. It is.
It's very nice.
It is a gift from the Emperor. Clearly, he is showing his favor upon this new path we've embarked upon.
You saved many lives that day, and you will not know of this, maybe ever, but certain members of this legion who survive will begin carrying icons with Domitia's features painted on them.
Saint Domitia, perhaps.
Perhaps. What the tenets of your cult may be, that remains to be seen. What about Zeratos?
Zeratos is mostly disappointed that he was not able to defeat any enemies in battle. So without that, he's probably is somewhere kicking back and meditating and not probably talking to random people about his Talaran background, because he's obviously Talaran.
All right, give me a roll for that.
All right. I don't even know what that would be.
Fellowship.
Or fellowship. Okay.
You have deception.
I have deception, yes.
All right, so it'll be a deception roll. This is
All right.
difficulty 5.
Good luck to me.
And if this goes poorly, well, I guess we're gonna have another perils roll.
I rolled a 4. I got 4 successes.
I'm Talaran too.
Really? Where are you from? What part?
Unfortunately for you, this will involve a very complicated handshake that you do not know, and then a hug, and we'll have to deal with the consequences of that.
Wait. The moment that a complicated handshake is necessary, I cast compel.
All right. Let's try this.
Do you have any mind ready ones also?
I had to make decisions and I didn't get the mind reading ones. So you're like, I don't have to mind read when I can say, show me this complicated handshake.
Or this is the handshake now.
Right.
All right.
I didn't mess up the handshake.
It's a dialectual handshake.
All right, so this I have a better roll for because I get to roll way more dice. Second. Yes, and I succeeded. Question mark? Hold on. Yes, I succeeded, and I beat it by 1, so I can. He has to beat a willpower test of 5.
Okay.
Don't. This, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but don't.
Just accept it. Fine. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
2, 3, 4.
Yes, that one extra raise I got.
Hey guys, this is my new friend this is my friend Zeratos. We knew each other back on.
It's Zartan. Zartan. That is my Talaran name that I've had since
Hey
birth.
guys, this is my new friend Zardoz.
This is Zartan. We knew each other before well, you know, I was tied to the Imperium.
Yeah, we fought hard. We demonstrated our prowess, but you know, in the end, you know, our survival was because of our might in battle. It was good seeing you, my friend, my close human friend.
Yes, my close human friend. I too am a human.
All right. They assume
Us
you're just
humans
drunk.
have to stick together.
And what's Hestia doing?
Hestia is working on. Well, are there other tech priests here?
Oh yes, there are a great many armored vehicles being prepared for combat.
All right. Well, she's trying to make sure that they're doing things correctly. So she's mostly going around talking to machine spirits, kicking the tires, etc.
Give me a tech roll.
I would love to.
Listen to all those dice.
I keep forgetting that 4s are successes. Oh no.
They're the unloved successes.
All right, so I got 11 successes again, but I did get a 1 on my wrath die.
All right. So you are working on the Leman Russ battle tanks.
Mm-hmm.
They are the pinnacle of Imperium construction. Many of these tanks are centuries old, and nothing can possibly go wrong with them because they are primitive as all get out. At some point, you know, you drop something. It's like you hear like a nut drop somewhere in the bowels of one of the tanks, but it's fine. It's probably not a problem. It's okay.
It'll shake its way loose eventually.
Yeah. And there's like a lot of room in there. You know, these Imperium designs, they have you know, very loose tolerances there.
They're really over-engineered. Lots of extraneous parts they didn't really need anyway.
Yeah.
I'm improving this.
All right. And what about Sven?
Sven is probably going to be sitting down and talking with the Elysian Drop troops command staff, as well as the higher ups in the Penal Legion, to sort out a battle approach in case everything goes pear shaped with the approach of getting the Administratum back under Imperial heel.
All right. Difficulty 5 leadership role.
Okay. Thank you for being successes. Because that is 5 exactly.
All right. Major Bracken is a bit unhappy that he has to take he has to take orders from Colonel Bloom, the commander of the drop troops. But it's pretty clear that one of them is in a penal legion and one isn't. So he shuts up and takes his orders. But you are able to prepare a combined arms plan that will integrate the strengths and cover up the weaknesses of each of your component units. There'll be shock and awe, and then there'll be overwhelming firepower, and then there will be plenty of ground vehicles to run over anyone too dumb to not get out of the way. So
excellent.
As at the cusp of dawn, the ground columns begin to roll out of the garrison, and the Valkyrie gunships begin to lift off, or excuse me, Valkyrie troop carriers, and I think they're Banshee gunships. Although I can't remember right now. Begin to
I used to remember this.
lift off and streak toward the horizon on tails of fire to bring the Emperor's light to this world once and for all. And for now, we will close. I'm sure everything will be fine. The Administratum will see you coming. They'll realize, oh, these guys were in the right all along, and will lay down their arms, and everybody will live happily ever after.
Oh, good.
Sounds good.
You don't have to show up in 2 weeks.
Hey, Administratum, we have pie and paperwork.
I'll trade you the pie for more paperwork.
Done.
All right. So that has been Wrath and Glory. Around the table, we've had Megan.
Hey everyone, this is Megan. I've been playing Hestia, the Heretic. You can find me on Twitter at Curium247 or tweet for the podcast at TRF Podcast.
Mike.
Everyone, I'm Mike, and I was playing Sven the Rogue Trader, and you can find me on Twitter at Token. That's Tokkan.
John.
Hi, I'm John. I was playing Zeratos. You can find me on Twitter as Sleepy, SLEYPY.
Rob.
Hi, this is Rob. I was playing Sister Demetia Hastafragus, who's very excited about her new cult and cursed sword, and these things couldn't possibly go badly. And you can find me on Twitter at BooDay.
And this is Acer. I played everybody else. You can find me on Twitter at Acer_Tolentino. We thank you for listening and hope you join us again soon. Until next time, this is TRF signing off.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.